I'm the director of the Spaceguard Centre. We are the point of contact for any information regarding near-Earth objects that are likely to come uncomfortably close or even hit the planet. As far as dark skies are concerned, of course, for what we do, it's absolutely essential. We have two towns relatively close, Knighton to our north, but that's so far down in the valley, really causes us no problem at all. To the south we have Presteigne. It's behind a hill. However, we still do get some sky glow from Presteigne, which is a bit tricky because the direction we're looking in is south. If Presteigne does upgrade its street lighting, I would very much expect for the light pollution that we get now to be virtually eliminated. That'll allow us to make deeper observations of fainter objects. That would be enormously useful.
Prestine's always been very good at being first, but it's a community that perhaps suffers with its lighting. It's not as good at night, and there's so much that's beautiful to see in Presteigne that could really be enhanced by some really special lighting, which in turn will help with tourism. And it would be lovely if visitors could walk around and appreciate the beauty of our town. The street lighting is too bright. Residents complain that the lights are too bright. They shine into people's houses, they disturb sleep. But obviously you've got to have lighting to some degree, so to have it as minimal as possible while still making everybody safe, making sure they can see their way around and enhancing our environment would be marvellous.
As a small community with a very beautiful built heritage, it would be very nice that actually it wasn't lost as it is with the current lighting, because the current lighting is intermittent and very bright where it exists. So what we have is hugely bright walls in places, and then between those bright places it's dark and you can't see the beauty of the buildings. So they're there in the day but they disappear at night. We work towards achieving a dark sky status. If it can be achieved, would actually bring visitors, because we would actually have something else that's special and worthwhile coming to see, or not see, because you won't see just the light, you'll be able to see the stars. Favourite bit is the fact that it's an holistic view of the community. It's not just trying to do one little bit somewhere, and it's trying to say, actually, how can we light all of these different scenarios appropriately? The significant benefit of this would be we would have a much, much more efficient and sustainable lighting system, and hopefully other communities would then come to see what can be achieved. So actually the market potential for those people who are willing to invest in showing off their technologies here will be repaid many times, I would have thought.
Presteigne is quite a unique town that we are still fortunate to have. We're all very proud of it. Anything that can enhance it and make it more attractive for visitors and for the people who live here, it's got to be good. And I frequently walk through the town at night. The current lighting is adequate. It doesn't add anything. I don't think you notice it. It's there, isn't it? And you're just so used to walking from one bright patch through the dark to the next bright patch, because the paving stones can be quite uneven and you have to be careful, so you do tend to look down a lot. The project will add a great deal to anyone, even people who know Presteigne well. The dark skies would be tremendously powerful in attracting people to come and see the sort of town that has gone the extra mile in terms of making lighting work for the town and also work for the environment.
I'm the mayor of Presteigne and Norton, and I've lived in or around Presteigne my entire life. Sometimes if you're walking around the town at night, as a lot of people do, obviously when they're out socialising or having a meal or whatever, you take things for granted really. It doesn't show off the town at its best perhaps at night. A lot of the street lighting appears to be on the walls of buildings perhaps, but not in the way that it should be. We're wasting a lot of light in some ways, and maybe with a bit of fine tuning that could show off the town in a far better light, if you pardon the expression, than it currently is doing so. There's no point in having light pollution for the sake of it. I use the expression intelligent lighting. If you use, with the best will in the world, dark skies, people will immediately think the lights are all going to be turned off and there will be uproar. But intelligent lighting means better use of the lighting that we already have. For example, perhaps if the lights are dimmed when they're not actually in use, but then if someone is in the vicinity, obviously the lights come back up to full effect. Well, I think most sane people would see that as being a step forward. It's environmentally friendly and saves money, so what's not to like, really? The town needs to attract more tourism, there's no doubt about that. We're standing outside this wonderful building now, which is obviously one of our main tourist destinations, but after dark, perhaps there, which would show off the building in a better way, would bring in more people at different times of the day, which can only help the local economy. I think it's quite a novel project. It's forward-looking in many ways, because perhaps when you live in the town your entire life, you get used to things the way they are, and perhaps a fresh perspective on it's a good thing, and it can only be a step forward in my view.
I had quite an interest in astronomy from, well, every child loves rockets and astronauts and space and all that. And you do, definitely from Norton, you really see the glow from Presteigne and Knighton as well if you look over the direction. Well, it's not really just the astronomy at the end of the day. I mean, if you go out on a clear night and you're able to see the Milky Way, for example, or, you're able to see a shooting star, then it doesn't matter what interest you really have in astronomy, people still go, wow, we're explorers, aren't we? So looking up and seeing something that you can explore, hopefully we will